need to prove to us that 8-2 is not just because of scheduling and not just because of wild, fluky, come from behind wins like the one they had against the Giants, and that maybe their quarterback is the real deal in Bo Nix in year 2 in the league. The game will be heard right here on ESPN Radio. So I don't know that we could sit here and say it's a must-win for the Chiefs, but we'll play the semantics game. Is it a can't-lose game for the Chiefs?
Yeah, because if they lose, then we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs being relegated to having to go the wild card route in order to get to the postseason. The Denver Broncos would have all but eliminated the Chiefs from AFC West title contention.
Right.
So how do we feel about Kansas City's prospects of being able to go the wild card route and get into the tournament? That becomes the question to ask. And when you look at their remaining schedule, they've got a couple of wins that they should run into. I mean, you've got dates with the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans, the Las Vegas Raiders. So there's 4. But is that going to be enough for you to be able to get a wild card spot in the AFC? That's the question that we don't have the answer to.
It's such a dumb way of doing it, but I think we have to. 4 plus 5 wins is only 9. 4 plus 6 wins is 10.
Yeah.
And I went to University of Wisconsin. Thank you very much for the math lesson.
It's my understanding that there would be no math.
Right. But the reason I say it that way is because with the loss, you're adding 4 to only 5, and 9 may not get you in. But with a win, you're getting to 10, and now if you have another win here or there, like now you're getting yourself in. The double-digit wins is probably going to get you in. So that's why it's like a can't lose, because if you look at it, let's just say they do lose, and they're 5-5.
Yeah.
Then you're saying, well, can they win out? Of course they can win out. They're the Chiefs. I don't need to look at a schedule to know that they can win out.
Yeah, but nobody thought that the Chiefs would be at 500 through 10 games in a season.
Right.
And if you lose to the Denver Broncos, that becomes your reality.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're in a hat with teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers or whoever finishes second in the AFC North, whoever finishes second in the AFC South. And, you know, in the Buffalo, like, those are the teams that you're competing against. Maybe the Houston Texans sneak in there. So, like, those are the 3 teams. Because we know the Buffalo Bills are going to be in. We know the LA Chargers are going to be in. So, it's that last wild card spot in the AFC that's seemingly up for grabs. So, how much confidence do we have in Kansas City's ability to be able to do that? And with each loss, that confidence or that benefit of the doubt in the Chiefs starts to go away. Last year, the Chiefs were invincible when it came to winning games, especially closely contested ball games. They were 12-0 in one-score games last year. Mm-hmm. This year, they're 0-4. So with each one of those losses, a little bit of that inevitability, that invincibility starts to go away.
But one thing we always can count on is Andy Reid after a bye.
Yep.
He is 27-4 coming off a bye in his coaching career. Pretty good. 27-4. And I think he is acknowledging the sense of urgency that is there for Kansas City because he gave the team the entire week off for their bye. The entire week off. Yeah, the entire weekend. He said he wanted them to rest and reset, get their minds right, because in his mind, these guys have played a lot of football over the past 3 seasons. He wanted them to rest up because he's saying we need to get this right and we need to make sure that we're as fresh as we can possibly be, not only for the back half of the season, but for the playoffs.
I think that it's weird at this point to start looking around at other teams with Kansas City and sitting there and saying, like, oh, well, they probably needed a Jacksonville loss, or maybe a Houston loss. Or what about the Ravens? Like, it's weird to even go that route for me with Kansas City because it's such a foregone conclusion where we ignore the regular season and we just focus on the postseason. We can't ignore the regular season now because they got to get in. Conversely,
if they win this weekend, then all of a sudden...
Do we start ignoring the regular season, you think?
Yeah, I think if they win this weekend...
See, that's a good way of looking at it.
If they win this weekend, then it's a fait accompli that they're going to be in the tournament. So it's actually... Because I just gave you 4 wins that they're going to get.
So it's actually win and ignore. It's not a win and in. It's a win and ignore game for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about them anymore if they win and the Broncos go to 8-3 and they go to 6-4 and CC just gave you the 4 games.
Are you sure? Well, they're going to play the Colts the following week.
Right, but the math, what he just said is you do the +4 on whatever the win total is after this week. So if the win total is 6.
I'm giving them wins against the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans, and the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm giving them those wins.
So get to 6 plus the 4 is 10. Then you give me the other 3 games then this season for them. They have the Colts, as you mentioned.
Yeah, they've got the Colts. They've got the Chargers. Broncos. They've got the Broncos again.
So you can win one of those and get in because now you're at 11. That's what he said. Cece's right in terms of if you believe in the 4 guaranteed wins, which you can argue those, that's fine. But if you believe in the 4 guaranteed wins, what this weekend's game does is win and ignore, because then we're not worrying about the Chiefs getting in. We're just worried about the seeding, who they could play in the first round, going on the road in ways that they haven't in the past. That's kind of what you graduate into with the win this weekend. Conversely,
that puts a lot of pressure on those teams fighting for the number 1 spot in the AFC. Because the last place you want to be is the 2 seed matched up against the Kansas City Chiefs rolling in the time.
I don't want that.
That's the last place you want to be. If you're the Colts and the Patriots, you're looking at it and saying, man, I got to get that 1 seed. Because I want to guarantee that I don't have to worry about the Chiefs.
Okay, so here's an interesting bet. Or not bet, prediction. Would you predict right now that the 2 seed is going to lose the first playoff game, regardless of who it is? Think about that for a second.
Well, I'm only doing that if Kansas City is the last wild card.
But your assumption is that's probably their way in.
I mean, don't we have to assume that Kansas City is going to find a way to get in? Don't we still have to assume that?
You gave us that, but it's at 10 or 11. So what I'm saying to you is if you're guesstimating that they're the 7 seed, then literally going into, what is it, week 11?
Right now, FPI is giving the Kansas City Chiefs a 75.5% chance of making the playoffs.
Did they say at what seed or no?
No.
Okay, so let's just assume that the way in is the 7 seed. As we sit here week 11, what an interesting storyline to keep an eye on is what you just said. Is that the idea
they're saying that they have the best chance of making the playoffs with the 7th seed.
Okay,
20% chance of making the playoffs.
Then what we've discovered here is that if you want to make a bold prediction in week 11 for the playoffs, bet against the 2 seed in the AFC, regardless of who it is. Because what you're looking at is Denver.
You would feel good about betting against them rolling into Foxborough to play your Patriots? You're a Patriots fan.
I know, but this is the Chiefs. But think about this.
He was just talking about them potentially going on a run and winning the Super Bowl.
I don't think you guys understand the Patriot fan.
Against them. Oh, if we got to play the Chiefs at home, wild card weekend, I'm not betting against the Chiefs. That's your team,
You have flip-flop more on the Patriots.
Man. You guys don't understand the Patriot fan.
Minutes.
The Patriot fan.
You're right, I don't understand.
Right, I don't understand you.
Was it Jason McCourty who was trying to explain it a couple weeks ago?
Maybe.
The Patriot fan has this ridiculous standard because of what they saw for 6 times over in the Super Bowl of perfection. So they always assume they're not good enough, they're not good enough, they're not good enough until they win it all. And then it's like, well, they're behind for next year. Belichick is like worn off on all of the fans, including myself, of the standard is so high that it's never good enough. You look at the Chiefs and you're like, well, I'm never going to bet against the Chiefs because they're that. Right? That's what I'm telling you is they're that standard. I'm telling you, CC just stumbled on something that is very interesting. The 2 seed in the AFC is in big trouble, and we don't know who the 2 seed is. Let me say that again. The 2 seed in the AFC is in big trouble, and we have no idea who it is because more likely than not, you're going to face the Chiefs in the first round. You need to be the 1, or you better hope you're the 3, because you want to avoid Mahomes and Reed, and you're probably going to get them all the hard work to get to probably 12, 13, 14 wins just to see those guys in round 1. That stinks. That stinks. All right, coming up. Could we have an NFC title game preview this weekend? We will discuss after I discuss ESPN Bet. From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Like, how about Saturday? The all-day parlay in the Parlay Lounge at ESPN Bet. Notre Dame moneyline, Alabama moneyline, Georgia moneyline, BYU moneyline. You got all of that coming up this weekend. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.